Okay. Good morning, Sridharji. How are you doing today? I would officially like to welcome you for our Power Hour workshop. What you learn here that you can implement, and then you would be able to make sure that every day you can spend that 1 hour, and you can make that solid 1 hour for yourself. That's the idea. Got it? Yes. Because most of us think that we have to do a lot of things, but unfortunately that doesn't happen, right? We get caught up with day-to-day activities or whatever we plan that eventually doesn't turn out. So the idea is what all we will be talking about is understanding what are the distractions around us, how we ensure that we are aware of the fact that why are we doing what we are doing, and also implement certain exercises or certain awareness techniques, so that we do not get distracted and we can create a focused hour for ourselves every day. And as you know, every day, even if we put in effort, and for a year if you do it, it is really a lot of progress rather than thinking 10 things and not able to actually implement anything, right? Okay, so with that thought, I would officially like to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining. I know it is Saturday morning. You might be having 10 or 15 other things to do, but you still chose to be here. So I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, let's begin. So obviously you might wonder what's in it for me. Why should I be attending it, or why do I even spend my 3 hours, right? So to answer that question, what I want to cover today is there are 5 concepts which I generally put in together so that people set the right intention why they want to do it. And since this is a very a long workshop, instead of just I speaking all the time, I would ensure that we can have an interaction in a way so that we can understand what are those distractions and how you can come out of it. So are you an early riser?
Yeah, I'm early riser.
Okay. Do you set intentions once you get up in the morning every day? Is that the practice? Do you follow?
No, I don't set intentions. There are certain activities which are routine in nature, but other than that, there are no set intentions. Yeah.
Okay. So we will be talking about a bit of that. First of all, if you are an early riser, that's great. So I need not emphasize more on that. But setting an intention is important. It's like if you, come out of your house and you get into your vehicle, and then you do set an intention. Okay, I need to go to work, or I need to go to this place or that place, and not like you just start the engine and just start driving. Like you drove, but where are you going? So if you have that intention, then probably you would reach to the destination. The same thing goes with every day in the morning. If we set intention for what am I going to achieve today, or is that this one thing which I will be focusing on to ensure that I would reach a little closer to that, or I would put in effort in that direction, then it really helps you to propel to that direction, right? So setting an intention is definitely one of the things which we'll be talking about. Then next thing which I would be focusing on is how do you ensure that you stay focused and accomplish what you have decided? Okay. And most of us happens to do this, that when we decide that, okay, we'll do it, not every day, but certain days we decide, right? Today we have to finish so many things, or today I'm going to do this or do that. And without even we realize the day is over, and we feel that, okay, actually I did not achieve whatever I have set in the morning. Right. So because of that, focus get distracted, or there are 10 distractions which come in the way and things like that. And we fail to accomplish whatever we have to. So we'll be talking about that. And then I would also talk about how do you ensure that during the regular days, how do you energize and thrive on whatever your goals and dreams are? Like, how do you set yourself grounded so that you can achieve that? And the last thing would be what you would get away with this is there are few techniques which I would be sharing, and few awareness, or you can say reasons why we do things what we do, so that it can help you maximize your productivity. Sounds good to you? Perfect.
Sure. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you so much. And we have just started. You didn't miss out much. So I was just talking about what is productivity. If I need to, or if somebody says that that person is very productive or this person is less productive. Since I work for corporate, I always see that what that person was doing, let's say 6 months before, and what he or she is doing right now, and how it is varying. So productivity is all about how much input you give and what output comes out in that time or in that effort, and that's how we measure. So productivity would be very, very different for you and for me or for any one of us, and it has to be measured within yourself. I mean, there is no competition between your productivities with someone else, other than you are in a professional environment where someone has to say that, okay, your productivity is compared with someone else, and based on that you are getting the raise or promotion and all that. But here what we are talking about today is how do we improve or increase our own productivity, right? How much effort are you putting in during the day and what output is coming out? If you can do more in the day, same day, great. That means you have improved your productivity. If you are putting in a lot of effort, nothing has come out, then you can say that, okay, your productivity is going down. And there are evidences which you can look at and say that, okay, my productivity has improved or it has reduced. Like if you are busy with, some health related issues, or if guests are over, obviously your productivity goes down, even though whole day your effort and time and energy is involved, right? So what happens with most of us when we say that, okay, there's nothing productive happening and I'm just living my life, or just things are going by, because we do not know, or maybe we're not setting the right intention of how do we make best use of our time. And most of us would end up saying that no time, there's no time at all, or I'm super busy, or things like that. Or else there are big list of things which we put in together and say that I have to do this. There's a long to-do list with each one of us. And when we look at it, every time we think that, okay, we will do this. Eventually the day is gone. And when you look at your list, it looks like nothing much is actually done, right? So if the list of things were like 10 things I had to do, and probably by the end of the day, still it is only one thing done and 9 things are still there. So one of the reason is you might be starting your day too late, right? If you are an early riser, great, because when you get up early, there is a lot of time where you can plan your day, you can think what you have to do today, how do you accomplish the day, and things like that. But if you're running late, what happens is you have already the day planned out for you. You just have to get up and rush, and there's no time to think and actually take charge of your day in the morning. So one reason could be that you get up very late. That is why I emphasize on, if you can set the intention that I have to get up early, or you can make it as a practice. If you already have a practice, it's an amazing thing to do. Keep doing it. However, setting the intention is something which is very, very important, right? So in order to increase your productivity, one way is obviously you get up early and set the intention for the day. What exactly am I going to achieve for the day? If you do not have a routine, structured routine, then this helps that at least you set the intention. If you have a structured routine, it is amazing, because only getting up early and setting the intention would not help. You have to have a structure which you follow, wherein you connect yourself with the higher power, you connect yourself with the things which energizes you, and then you go by your day. Most of us say that we are very busy, we don't have time for our health, we don't have time to work on our dreams or goals, because you are too busy just working out. So if you set the intention in the morning, that helps, that definitely increase your productivity. And we will be talking about what are the benefits of getting up early. Obviously, it will increase or enhance your productivity. It will help you enhance your mental clarity, because when you get up in the morning, and if you are earlier than the regular daytime or your regular schedule, in that half an hour or 1 hour, whatever time you decide, at least that is the time when your mind is like a sponge. It has clear framework, or you can say it's a clear frame or canvas, right? You can think what all I need to do today to make things happen, instead of when you are rushing to your work, or when you got up on a regular days where there's actually no time, right? So once you get up early, you can set the foundation for your day. You have time to take care of yourself, you have time to take care of your health, and it gives you the sense of power that, okay, I am the in charge of my day, and it's not like the time is taking everything away. You are managing time, right? And that sense of power is very, very important when you start your day. And if the day started and the usual feeling is, oh, I'm late, I have to do this, I have to do that, then you are just losing the race against time. Okay, so the best way to improve productivity is, people say that you have to keep things simple. Keep things simple, as in, if you have a long list of things to do, take my word, you would not able to do it. Instead, what you have to do is, the moment your brain realizes that, oh, it is too difficult to do, or it is too complex to do, or maybe I do not know what to do, that's it. Your brain finds all the legitimate excuses in the world so that you don't do that thing and you put it away, right? Or you end up procrastinating it. So the best way is, make it as simple as your brain says, okay, this is too easy, I can do it. Right? For example, if you are thinking that, okay, I have to set up 45 minutes for walk every day, or maybe I'm not taking care of my health, I need to do some yoga or anything which would improve your health for half an hour to 45 minutes a day. That is a huge task for your brain if you have never done it, right? Instead, if you say that, okay, tomorrow morning when I get up, I would wear my gym clothes or my workout clothes and just step out and take a walk for 5 minutes, right? That task is simple. Your brain think that, okay, it's just 5 minutes, right? It's nothing big. I can do it. All I have to do is I have to just get up, dress up, or if not, just put on my shoes and go out and walk for just 5 minutes. That is so simple that your brain would not be even arguing with you to postpone. You can do it. So same principle applies to anything and everything which you want to achieve. Instead of making a long list of things which are complex or complicated, make it as simple as the easiest thing your brain can say that, okay, I can do it. Go ahead and do it. Next thing is, you can set reminders for yourself. For example, if you say that, okay, I need to work out 2 times a week because I am too busy, I have 10 other things to take care of, I cannot do it every day. I have to do it 2 times a week. If you don't put any reminder, if you don't have an accountability partner, what happens if you decide that, okay, I have to do it on Monday and Thursday, Sunday night, you have no clue, or you don't even realize that, okay, I decided to myself that I will do the workout on Monday morning. Monday morning would happen and you would go by your day, right? The same way even Thursday would come and go. However, if you have set the alarm or set the reminder in your phone, or you have an accountability partner, when you say that, remind me a day before that I have to do certain tasks, right? Take the help of technology or take the people who are there to help you around, and they just give you a small hint, do you remember tomorrow is Monday and Monday you decided to, work out, or it's Wednesday night and tomorrow is the day for you to work out. That's the first thing in the morning. So those reminders would help you keep on track. They would help you stay on track. And if in case there is some obstacle, they might, help you walk through. Or if not, at least leaving that week, next week, you can do the same. So having the reminder is always helpful. Earlier days, people used to have big calendars in their houses, right? Their dates are there and you can write a little bit on those dates. Okay, this day I have to do this day I have to do that. Now things have become digital. So instead of cursing technology, make good use of technology. Just pick up your phone and say, hey Google or hey Siri, just do this. And it would do it for you. And for some reason, if you are not able to do it the day you have planned it, set the, follow-up reminder that, okay, if I just check with me whether I did it or not. Let's say if you forgot, if it is asking you on Monday evening that, did you do that activity, or did you go for a walk tonight, this morning? And if the answer is no, you might want to take a walk in the night. So use those reminders for your convenience, as well as, to help you stay on track. And another thing, what happens is, most of us decide with, big list of goals that we will do this. There are long-term goals, there are short-term goals, and there are goals which are immediate, right? Which are for the day, like every day. And those goals are visited only either in the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year. So my suggestion is, visit your goals regularly. Have your goals sheet ready. If you are already in the habit of, writing goals every day, amazing. It's the best thing to have. If in case you are not in the habit of writing your goals regularly or every day, at least have them handy so that you can look at it at least weekly, if not daily. Okay. So let's say you decide that in 3 months, I need to do so and so thing in my life, or I need to work on this skill so that I can upgrade my skill set. Okay. Instead of having one long-term plan, you can, break it down into simpler versions or smaller pieces. Okay. In 3 months, I need to achieve this skill set. In that, in 1 month, I need to get to this level. In second month, I need to get to this level. And in third month, I will be probably doing it as an assignment or things like that. And in that 1 month also, in 2 weeks, I will do this, and in 1 week, I will do this. If you have this breakdown of your goals, and every week when you're visiting, you can look at it and ask yourself, have I done what I have planned? If the answer is yes, pat your back and say that, yes, kudos that you have done it, whatever you have committed. If you did not do it, ask yourself, what is the smallest thing or the simplest thing or the smallest step which I can take so that it gets started. So reviewing your goals daily, or if not daily, at least weekly, would definitely help you improve your productivity. Mark my word on that. On that note, I want to ask anybody, if you can type in, any one of you do any of these things? Are you already practicing either keeping things very, very simple or setting reminder to yourself? Setting reminder doesn't mean that waking you up every day at the same time. Other than that, setting reminders for your goals or for the activities which you're supposed to do, which will help you get closer to your dreams. Anyone is doing that? I would be happy to see it in the chat box, or if it is convenient, unmute yourself and share. Shridarji, are you doing that? Reminders I use for attendance. Okay. Attendance for? Okay, different programs and classes. See how regular you are, that you ensure that you are committed to every group or every practice which you are involved in. That's good to see and hear. How about yourself? Are you keeping these reminders to track your own contribution and progress towards your action items? Oh, good to see you instead of reading the chat. Thank you for enabling the camera. Yes, it would be easier to converse. Because I want it to be interactive. It doesn't mean that, okay, for whole 3 hours, I'll be the one who will be speaking. I would actually love to hear and, resolve. Yes, Shridaji, please.
No, like what I shared earlier, okay, I don't plan my work. Actually, that is the issue. Other things, attendance and wherever there is a passion, I don't know whether it's a passion related or is it something else, but I miss planning in the daily my accountability aspects of life.
Right. So, do you feel that your day has some activities which you call them time wasting activities? Is it there? Do you feel that, or everything what you do during the day is important?
No, the time flies away and I am not aware. That is
do you use any productivity app?
no, I don't guess.
Okay. Do you do multitasking?
I do multitasking at times, but today I'm not doing.
Thank you so much. That is very, very thoughtful of you. So I ask those questions because these are also the things which we can look at. Like if you feel that you are not being productive from past few days or for a few weeks or something, you need to look at your schedule and see, are there activities which I consider that time flies away, but actually are not, I don't feel that I did something. See, until during the day, there's some task or some activity where you feel proud of yourself doing that, or you feel like, yes, I did something. That means, and this time is something which will fly away because you are involved in such activities which are not taking you anywhere, which are not moving things, and still this time is passing away, because time is something which you can't control. All you can control is how do you make best use of it, right? There are productivity apps which you can use, wherein you put in, install it in your phone, and you can say, disable all those shopping sites and all those other browser things which generally distract you from providing you notification or specific time. If you do these, if you browse these websites or these dashboard, after this time, it will be logged. So there are multiple ways of utilizing technology for our advantage. And multitasking, why I ask, because most of us feel that we are being more productive. For example, if you are in this workshop, I really don't know what is happening at your end, right? Maybe you are listening to me and you are also browsing through your phone, or maybe there are 10 other things open on the system or on your mobile phone, and you will say, okay, let me see what next I have to buy, or what are the best offers, or whatever other things you're doing. At a time we feel that, okay, let me check this also, let me do that also. However, we don't realize that this is taking away your focus. Imagine if there's a dark room wherein there is absolutely no light, and someone says that just go inside and pick up a torch which is there on the table, right? And there is one source only, there is light I would show and take it away. So you are showing light in, let's say, left and then right and then center, and you are there and just looking for the torch. You might not get it, rather than if somebody focus that light in one direction, wherein some light constantly coming to you and you can actually look around what is happening. The same thing happens with multitasking. When you take your focus from one thing to another, and then to another, and then to another, it takes some time for your brain to adjust on, okay, what is that new thing is going to happen? Where was I? What I need to do, or what is happening? And before your brain even understand that, obviously that happens with just fraction of seconds. We don't even realize that it's a big deal. But your brain has to again focus on next task, and again, process all the things what was happening. So if you want to improve your productivity, the immediate thing which you can do is avoid multitasking. If you're listening to somebody, just listen to that person. Be it in, online activities or as well as offline activities. If you stay connected with online activities, and especially if you switch on your camera, people would know what is happening. We might feel that, okay, it is an online event or what's a big deal, but people get to see your vibe. Right? If I'm talking to you and I'm telling you things and I'm still, just putting my phone down and looking at it, it just changes the dynamic. You don't even realize, but this is important. Same thing happens offline. When you are talking to your friend, to your family, at the same time, you're talking to them and you have your phone in hand or you're watching TV, you are dividing your attention, right? If you talk to somebody for 5 minutes with complete attention, the other person can feel your presence. And that time is the most valuable time which you can give to somebody, right? Instead of saying, I'm too busy, you say, I'm occupied. Change your words, how you say things, how you tell to even yourself. When somebody says, okay, are you free this weekend? Can we meet up? And you say, I'm too busy. Don't say that I am too busy and just decline things. Say that I am preoccupied on this weekend or on this date. Let's see, I can, look at my schedule and let's see what best we can do and when can we catch up, or what is the best time we can do it. Stop saying that you're busy. Say that I am having other activities which are planned out, or I am preoccupied, or I want to, contribute my time and effort, not for this and for that. So the way you start telling yourself, that's how you start feeling it. Just stop saying yourself the word, yeah, I'm too busy, or I don't have time. Never say that I don't have time. Then somebody says to me that, okay, you do this, and you don't have time. I immediately say, no, I have time. Tell me what is it. And then I would decide whether I want to spend my time on that, or whether I want to invest my time in that activity or not. But I do have time. I always tell to myself, and that has changed a lot of things, because your words form your reality. Whatever you keep saying to yourself, that eventually start happening. Right? So you always say that I have lots of time, I have plenty of time. I consciously choose where to spend my time and where not to spend my time. If I consciously decide that, okay, I want to watch, I want to endlessly scroll social media for an hour, wherein I need not even think that I am wasting my time, I will do this happily. But I'll put an alarm for 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever time I decide, and I do it. I do it without any guilt. Okay. After 2 hours, as soon as the alarm rings, I have the willingness as well as I have the will that, okay, I have decided 2 hours, 2 hours are over. I'm switching it off and moving to other activity. Okay. So that will is very, very important. So look at your schedule, see what are the activities which you feel might be a time waste for you. See, talking to somebody might be a time waste for you, but for that person, it is the most important activity. You might have observed that at your home also, right? When you are answering an email, it is an important activity. And that time, if your mother comes or if your spouse comes and asks what to, cook for lunch or for dinner, you find it, what's big deal? Just go make anything, right? But when you are eating, that time, if you go and answer your email, that time, that activity is unnecessary. Right? So you have to decide when to do what. And if you feel something is wasting your time, something is eating up a lot of your time, minimize it. Use productivity apps if you can. If not, have that strong willingness that I can switch whenever I want, and I do one thing at a time so that I am absolutely focused on that activity. And if you have a team, you want them to improve their productivity, make sure they are motivated, they know what they are doing and why they are doing, so that they feel motivated, and they can do the same task in the less time in compared to other days. Another reason is, this is what happens with most of us. We decide to do something, we put everything in place, and yes, let's do this. And we work for 5 minutes, then what happens? There is some thought pops in. Some thought pops in, okay, what would I do in that thing? Or I need to plan that vacation, or I had to do this activity, or I had to visit my doctor, or like some other thought pops in. So if you look at this slide, it is two things. When you are in vacation and you think about work, that's distraction. Ideally, right? And when you're working, if you think of vacation, that's distraction. But both of them are equally important. Everything has its own value. The only thing is, we have to learn how to control our mind so that we can be 100% present in that moment, wherever we are, what we are doing. If you're working, it has to be a focused work. Okay, that time, no other thought. Every other thought is distraction. And when you are, at vacation, when you are with your friends and family and everyone, that time, even the thought of sending out an email, making sure that you are checking up with your team if everything is fine and all that, in between the vacation, is a distraction. So anything and everything could be a distraction. You have to learn to realize what is the distraction, what I have decided to, whether am I doing it or not. Right? Does this happen to any one of you? Sridharji, does this happen to you? That you have decided to do something and some other thought pops up?
I'm not aware.
Okay. So from past 37 minutes, you are in here, but are you thinking that, okay, what is happening over there in my spiritual lessons today, which I missed?
No.
Oh, wonderful. That means you're being present. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So what we have to learn is, in order to be more productive, we need to learn. Yes.
There is one thing which I want to emphasize here.
Yes.
There could be emergencies, so people
Yes.
have to be aware of that emergency requirement.
Yes.
So it is not about only distraction. Distraction has a relevance. Then that is not a distraction, that is a compulsion. Emergency kind of situation. We need to, with courtesy, communicate, and then do the job which is more important at that point in time. So that's just, I wanted to add that it is not that anything can be distraction. It's not like that. Distraction sometimes, if it is matching the responsibility, like it is required to be done, and then and there only, then we need to take it up that by responding to it and communicating to the other person. Okay, we'll catch up or something.
Yes, certainly. I agree to that. See, that's why the word is emergency. I mean, it needs your immediate attention, and it has to be dealt right away. Right? It's an urgent task and important task. You cannot avoid it. It has to happen. So yes, that is also there. There is a matrix which you can follow, wherein you have to decide about that thing or task, whatever it is. Is it an urgent and immediate thing which needs your attention? Then obviously you have to put everything aside and just deal with it, right? Or attend to it and make sure that the rest of the things are informed, as Sridharji said. But what we are talking about is, on a regular mundane day, what happens, or how most of us think, right? We do think that, okay, I'm gonna complete this presentation today, or I'm going to give my time for an hour to work on this activity. And during that 1 hour, or during that time, this which is dedicated time for that action or activity, there are other thoughts pop in, which are obviously not emergency. However, those are the things which are just running in your mind. There are 70,000 plus thoughts which each one of us think every minute. So not every minute, every day. So in that, what are the things which we call distractions and what are the things which are not distraction at that moment? That differentiation we need to learn, right? So we need to learn how to avoid distraction, or how to avoid those thoughts. Those thoughts would be there. You can't help it unless you have that kind of determination and you are so centered to yourself that you can train your mind that, okay, this is the only thing which I need to focus on. Not a single other thought is going to come in. Any action that moves away from what you really want is a distraction. Okay. Now, whatever task, whatever action it is, if it is, unless it is an emergency, for which obviously it is exclusive clause. Otherwise, you observe your day and ask yourself, is this particular action is moving me away from what I really wanted to do in this moment? If the answer is yes, that could be a distraction. It could be when you have decided that, okay, I will spend time with my kid or with my spouse. In that moment, if your boss calls or if someone else calls or if there's anything else coming in, because you have decided to spend your time with your family, that time everything else is a distraction. When you decided to work for an hour, focused hour, in that time, even your kid comes along, that is a distraction because it is taking your time away from what you have decided to do. You have full control on how do you distribute your time, and then how do you make sure you give your time and effort, energy to that activity. Okay. And the problem with most of us is we feel that, okay, now technology is everywhere, information is everywhere, and there is so much to do. What we miss to, find out or remember that the wealth of information which is there right now is dearth of something else. And what is that? It creates a poverty of attention. We are missing out on our ability to pay complete attention on one thing. And that is why all Insta reels and all the social media reels are not more than 10 to 15 seconds long. Because we have lost our ability that we can listen to something with patience and attention for more than 30 seconds or a minute, because there is so much to look at. We get so quickly bored that we start moving to the next information, the next piece of information, and so on. And then we say that, okay, social media takes away so much time, and we might tend to believe that social media is the reason why I'm distracted, which is actually not the case. Right? So the question which I want you to ask yourself is, why do you think you struggle that, okay, your productivity is not going anywhere? Why do we struggle to be productive? Anybody knows the answer for that? Okay. You might answer that Netflix is the reason. Yes, Sridharji, I would love to hear. Sorry, I'm picking on you because Ishi and Amitji are having, difficulty currently. I think you're speaking on mute.
If I really knew, I would not be here.
Perfect. So I would give you some options. Okay, Netflix could be the reason if you've been watching, or Netflix as in any other platform, OTT platform, which you might want to involve in. Or there are so many options and so much of information and availability of everything that we don't know what to do. And we want to do probably everything. Right? That could be the reason. Or lack of clarity on where should I go. And when I say lack of clarity, doesn't mean that we have dearth of choices. We have so many choices that we get confused that I really don't know which one would be the best for me. Right? So this dilemma could be the reason that we tend to not go anywhere, or wherever we are, it is fine. Or else your brain perceives the task or the activities as so complicated and so complex that it doesn't know where to begin. And once that happens, the moment your brain gets that message that I really don't know what to do or how to do this or how to even reach to the goal which I have decided to myself, then it would prefer to make you stay in your comfort zone, no matter how bad you feel that why you are not doing what you wanted to do. Your brain says it's okay because you don't know how to do it, because you are not sure of what should be the next step. So it's all right. Continue with what you are doing. Okay, that could be the reason. Or you have those thoughts that because I have so much to do, I don't know where to begin. You need to check in your email, you need to attend your family, you need to take care of, your workplace. you need to take care of your finances, so many things that you feel that, okay, I'm lost. There are so many options and choices that I did not set the intention that which one should I deal with first. And when everything comes together, then your brain freezes. It's like, okay, I'm not doing anything. Let me rather take some time and, free up my mind. That could be one reason. Have you seen this or have you experienced this, that you are getting up late and you feel that, okay, I have lost so much time and I really don't know what to do. And then whole day just goes like that. We feel that one hour early, if I would have gotten up 1 hour early, I would have set the whole day. But for some reason that time is gone and we could not do things the way we decided to do, and things just take for a swarm. That's why it is important to start your day earlier than what we generally do if you feel that your day is not being productive. Now, I can bet you that the problem is not that we have social media, that's why we are not being productive. You remember video games? Kids used to play video games and parents used to think that is the biggest reason of distraction. They don't study, they don't finish homework because they keep playing video games all the time. Remember the days when television was launched? It was the mind-melting power of television. People would sit in front of television for hours together doing nothing, just watching one thing and then after another, then other and then other, right? Now, as we are progressing in terms of availability of technology, we have so many options that we feel that now these are the reasons for distraction. Imagine, a few years later when VR will be there and all this Gen AI is there, there will be so many things you would wonder. Then people would say that earlier it was better. All they had is social media. Now we have so many options. But the thing is, if you want to, make sure that you are not distracted, you have to learn the art. So being indistractable is about understanding the real reason why we do things which are against our best interest. I know that watching reels for, 2 hours is bad because it is sucking my time. Still, I end up watching. So I have to ask myself why. What's the reason? It is definitely not that my phone is opening in front of me and saying, okay, do watch this. No, I am putting the effort, opening that app, scrolling through, watching this and then another things and other things. So definitely it is not the availability of tech in front of me. It is something wrong with me or maybe my mindset, right? So that's what we are going to talk. Before I go further, I know most, in fact, all of you are in a particular job, right? And we feel that, okay, our job is our work and this is what we have to do. I want to ask this one question to you. Do you think, are you living to work or are you working to live?
This is
Any
mainly
thought on
asked
that?
for your eating, you are living to eat or eating to live, something looks like that.
Yes. See, your job is your skill, right? Your skill set, what you are being paid for. But when you start considering your job as your work of life, then that's the problem, because we give our more than 100%, whatever we can, beyond our capacity, to make sure that we are being perceived as somebody who's honest, we are being perceived as somebody who's very disciplined, we are being perceived as somebody who gives their 100% and all that. But we don't put in that much of dedication to our own self, right? And that is the reason why we end up getting distracted. So if I decided that, okay, this for 1 hour, I will work on my, skill set. That's the promise which I made to myself. I can easily break it. But if I say that to my boss, that I will give you 1 hour to do this activity or whatever the next thing he or she give me, or whatever work is assigned to me from my workplace, I would ensure that I would be more than 100% willing to put that effort and make sure that I would produce the result. Because we don't want to be perceived as somebody who doesn't keep his promises or his words, right? We consider it as my lifetime's work. Mind you, it is your job, right? Tomorrow, if there's somebody who is equally skilled as you are, that other person also will be paid the same. But work is your gift, right? What you are born to do. And most of us fail to even go deeper and realize what is my work. What am I born to do? If you decide that, and then you start putting in effort in that direction, then there'll be a day where you are actually working, putting in your effort, and you are very, very happy and proud of yourself. Maybe your job is something which gives you the level of happiness when you achieve certain target, when you get a raise or when you get a promotion, but after that it becomes mundane. But if your work is something which you have found out, it would give you that same level of joy every day. Okay, so ask yourself that question before you start putting 14 hours, 13 hours, 12 hours or more to your job, which is actually not your life's work. Okay, I just want you to be, walk away with this awareness that they are two different things. And are you giving time to, to your job, considering that it is your life's work? Because today you're doing this job, tomorrow you might be doing something else. So think about it. Okay. And have you ever wondered what most of us do? Yes. Yes, please.
Basically, for people like me who are into entrepreneurship mode with a consultancy or something, so actually both get merged into one. So
Right.
there's no work, there is no job as such. My work itself is my job, or my job itself is my work. So under those circumstances, what can be a motivating factor?
Yes. So to answer that question, answer me these questions. Are you somebody who works for 10 to 12 hours a day to enjoy those few hours in your during 24 hours of time? Let's say if you are an entrepreneur and you work for 12 hours a day, okay, which you say your job and your work are pretty much the same. Then those 3 to 4 hours which are there, are you just living for those and rest of the time you feel that you are not enjoying it? It is just work which you are doing, or do you feel happy all the time? You don't literally sneak out those 3-4 hours for yourself.
No, there's what like I shared earlier. It is a mix-up of things, and I am not able to differentiate. Like I require this also, I require that also, I require that also. So all of them are my job, or all of them are my work. So I also do some community service, being a coordinator for spiritual learning and all that. So I cannot say it is not my work, or I cannot say it is not my job. I have chosen to be there, and it will be my work also. It will be my, though it may not be in a strict sense giving money or something, but it gives me satisfaction. I am able to raise the level of knowledge of people with the spiritual learning. And now recently we have moved our batches to NRIs. So after 2 years of Bharat Bharat Jodo, we are actually moving to NRI people who are actually demanding us to have these kind of different spiritual lessons, which is not there normally in either YouTube or anywhere. So my Guruji has evolved a methodology where he connects spirituality with science, and people are demanding that kind of lessons. So I espouse for that kind of knowledge to go to people, and they start believing our spiritual learning, and start living that life, which is more to do not with self, but to do with what we call supporting the people around. That is what we call nishkam karma.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
am I am doing a lot of nishkam karma, and I am less on sakam karma, and so money doesn't come in.
So you are karma yogi, right? We have
And
6 type of yogas.
there is a big, I am too small to say yes or no to that.
Okay, so there are certain questions, Sridharji, which will be coming in the slides. If you answer those questions, you will get the answer for what you are asking. So you have a slightly different path. For many people who are in typical corporate job, or handling work, and which is their job, for most of the people, this is how the life looks like. We work for 8 to 9 hours, or maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, just to enjoy those 3-4 hours after the work, right? Because morning there's no time, there's a lot of things to take care of. We work for 5 days a week or 6 days a week just to enjoy one weekend. And then the moment Friday comes, everyone is like, thank God it's Friday. For those who are having 5 days a week. For those who are having 6 days a week, I think Amit can relate. They have that Sunday, they wait for that Sunday, right? That one day of the week, they're like, thank God, there's nothing else to do. But for you, it might be different, right? Because you are involved in so many things. Maybe Sunday you do more. Right?
Maybe no, every day is a Sunday for me, and every day is a work day for me.
Yes.
Basically, like what thought now comes in mind is, I have retired, but so to say, I don't go to a job working for somebody as an employer or something. But nobody had stopped me from visualizing that, yes, I am doing my job for my company from my home. Work from home is happening all over the world, and it did not occur to me that I can look my work, the professional work, that way, and divide myself, my hours, like balancing that. So that's what occurred to me out of this interaction. And I can say, okay, I am from 12 to 6, I'm doing a job. I can assume myself to be that way. My consultancy job, whatever I'm doing, or the digital coach job, that is my job. So let me work like though I'm in the house, I can concentrate and focus and assume that, okay, I'm from this time to this time, I'm actually working, and I'm on a job. Somebody else is my employer, or maybe my clients are my customers. So that opened up now. Thanks a lot for that interaction. Maybe I'll implement that.
So it's like compartmentalizing your own time for each activity. This is the time for my spiritual activity, for my own personal fulfillment and joy. This is the time for my consultancy work and my coaching thing. This is the time for me as a husband, as a father, and all those things. Just to family. And it's easier when it is compartmentalized, because people also get to see that message then. They would also respect your time. Okay, this time I should not be disturbing because he'll be involving with those activities, or this is his family time and all. That's what it is.
And what is that app which you're telling it will help us in that?
Yes. I'll share those apps also for somebody who's interested. Okay, so for Sridharji, it is a different type of compartmentalization. For most of us, those who are in full-time job, you have to see whether your job and work is something which you can combine, or are they two different things. Job would give you joy once in a while. Work is something which you will be proud of yourself literally every single day. So just to share a little my so-called joy story. I have created a pre-recorded course. I have launched it in the end of December, and since then I have sold it to few of my clients. And till yesterday, in fact, yesterday itself, I have uploaded it on Udemy. I felt so proud of myself that I have done it, even though they had like tons of requirement. How do you upload the course, and you should record it this way, it should be written this way, and that is all that. I'd put in complete one day to understand the requirement, put things together, and I've submitted. I really felt so good. I would have not felt that good if I would have, completed one presentation at my work. Right? So your work would always give you that, immense pleasure, what we call it, or that that you feel that, okay, I have done something, irrespective of how much money is attached to it. The same thing happens if you are, involved in spiritual practices. When you go and do community services, when you serve somebody, either in person or through your money, your time, or effort, you feel so blessed that that happiness cannot be compared with what you get with a raise. Right? They are two different things altogether, even though both of them are happiness. And I'll talk about it, why we tend to lose that level of happiness and we come back to normal. I'll talk about that. So if you feel that your job and work are two different things, then ask yourself, is this really what you want to do for the rest of your life? For most of us, answer would be no. If you want different results, you have to make different moves. It is as simple as that. Whatever you have done from past 5 years in your life, if you are not changing anything, the next 5 years also remains the same. And if the answer is no, I have to change, this is enough. Now I want more time with myself and my family, and I want to find out what really, motivates me and all that. Then the question comes, are you brave enough to chase what you truly want? Here comes the problem. For most of us, we do want to change, but I'm not sure it is so easy or not, because our brain can perceive all the things which are unknown, which are hazy, where you feel that because I don't know the path, how to change and I'm ready to change, but what to do, what not to do, it seems very complicated and hazy. Your brain says, maybe I'll think about it, maybe not right now, and all those things. But if your answer is very, very clear, yes, I need to make the changes and I'll do whatever it takes, then we can talk about it, right? And the question comes, are you frustrated enough to bring the change? Sometimes things are bothering us, but not that much that we have to change right away. They are bothering us, but they are not bothering us up to that level that I have to change it no matter what. So for example, let's say if you open the door and there's a hinge which is loose, still it is opening, it's fine. You know, it's a cupboard which is having a hinge and you open it, and every time that door is a little tilted. And what you have to do while closing, you have to just tilt the door and close it. You know that it's a problem and you need to resolve. You will do it someday, but not now. The frustration would be the max that one day you open the door and the door comes in your hand. Now you're like, enough. I'm going to the carpenter right away, or I'm going to call the carpenter right away, right? The same thing happens in life. When there are problems or there are discomforts, we feel that this is a discomfort, but I can live with it. But for some day, for someone, that moment would come where you feel that enough is enough. I cannot take it anymore. This frustration has gone beyond my hand. Now I have to make sure, do whatever it takes in terms of time, effort, energy, money, whatever, just to fix this problem. And people change only when you reach to that level, right? It's like when the water boils, the boiling temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Up to 99 degrees Celsius also, the boil will not start boiling, right? The water would not start boiling. So for each one of us, we have a threshold. Until we reach to that threshold, people will not change. Even though we know that it is important for us, we need to change, we want to change, but we won't until it reaches to that threshold. So ask yourself, am I waiting for myself to reach to that threshold when things go so much out of hand that I start working out? Or am I being aware and taking that decision that, okay, let us start putting in the effort? So for most of us, until life shows this, we don't take action. Like your lab result comes, right? Your diagnostic results. Your sugar is this level, your BP is, your KFT is this level, your liver function test is so and so, your triglycerides is this and this. And your doctors make you sit with him and says that, you know what, you have to do exercise, you have to stop eating sugar, you have to do this. Otherwise, this is the thing. Then all of a sudden we realize, okay, let me put in the effort. I should go for the walk. I should change the modification. Before that, if let's say you have a friend who is a dietitian and who says that, you know what, I think you should be doing this. You're like, we will do it. Right? So let's not wait until life shows us, the mirror that, okay, enough is enough. Now do the change. Let's take the decisions beforehand. Any thought on that? Anybody? No? Okay, all of you are already aware that I need to take action. That's good. So my question to you is, are you brave enough to change what you truly want? Yes.
Enough is what made me to come to your program.
I am so glad, Sridharji, that you made that decision. I truly appreciate that. And I hope you are getting that, the psychology behind it, like why we don't change, right? Okay, so since you have taken that decision, I am also assuming that you're brave enough to chase what you truly want. The next question comes. Bravery is something, yes, all of us are super brave. The question is, are you disciplined enough to stay consistent? Come what may. Because discipline is the, I would say, key ingredient, or you can call it consistency also, right? Discipline is like if you set something to yourself, you make sure you do it. Like how that famous dialogue is from Salman Khan's movie, right? If I committed something, then I would not even listen to myself. I have to do it no matter what. And discipline is when you don't want to do it and you hate it to the core and you still go ahead and show up. That is discipline. Are you disciplined enough to stay consistent? Because sometimes all you need is not excellence and not that, okay, I need to do something out of the box. All you have to do is just keep showing up every day. Keep staying consistent. Keep showing the discipline, especially the days when it is dark outside, especially the days when you hate it to the core to do that, especially the days when you are in so much pain that if given, you would definitely give up right away. On those days also, can you pull yourself up and make things happen and do whatever you told that you will do it yourself? If you can do that, That's it. That's the key. You will be able to get through no matter how hard that thing is, right? So that discipline is something which is obviously the key. Now, pay attention to what you want in life. Living the life we want not only requires doing the right things, but also necessitates that not doing the things we know we will regret. So, for example, if I have to get up in the morning, it is divine to sleep back. Once you get up in the morning at 4 and 5 and you look at your watch and say, I can sleep back until 7 and 8. You go back to sleep. You feel so good. But when you get up later, you feel like, oh my God, why did I sleep? I would have, gotten on time. I would have done this. But now I feel bad that I did not get up on time. Don't do that. So, especially in those moments where you are seeking immediate comfort, ask yourself, will I regret myself doing this later? Even though no matter how tempting that decision or that action is right now. If the answer is yes, you will regret, you rather get up and say that, okay, this is my time to, be disciplined and show up. And this is not the thing which I need to be doing. I know I have to get up early, but I also know that I should not be slipping back into my cozy bed, no matter how cozy it looks and feel, because I know that I'm going to regret it. So that sense of awareness you must have in order to, have that discipline. Okay. And mind you, we become what we pay attention to. It's all about that. So ask yourself, what are your core values? I know some of you might be already, evolved with this, or you might have thought about it. You already know what your core values are. And if you have not thought of it, I would encourage you to ask yourself, what are your core values? And when I say core values, what do I mean? See, for me, my core value is kindness. My core value is boldness. My core value is continuous learning. And it's not just for the sake of saying, I would ensure that I imbibe and I become those things. When I say kindness, I am kind to myself and I'm kind to every single being whom I come in contact with, right? Whether it is the smallest creature I see, or whether it is my family or everybody, or to myself, I am kind. So when I say that I am kind, it's like, let's say if I have decided I will do this thing and I put in my 100% effort, but somehow I could not achieve it. So one thing is I would self-sabotage myself. I'm so bad, I couldn't do it and I should have done this and blah, 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 which is actually diminishing my soul power. So I would tell to myself, it's okay. I have put in my 100% effort. If that did not happen, it is not in my control. I see that whether I have put in my 100% effort. If the answer is yes, I pat my back and say, you did your best, right? It's all right. No need to feel bad about it. This is what I do. Next, that if I say, okay, I'm kind to others, the same thing. If, let's say, if my team does something which is obviously not up to the expectation, then let's say they deliver something and which causes escalation to my client's end. When it comes to me, I look at it, instead of shouting back to my resource saying that, what the hell did you do? Don't you know how to do your job well and all that? I make sure that I maintain my kindness. I call that person in person and not in public, obviously not in the team meeting. I tell, look at this document, see what is wrong, and tell me what do you think could have been done well so that this could have not caused this error. I never say that it is, it is the mistake which you did, because I don't say mistake. I use the word error, one thing. Second thing is I say that what could have been done better, or how things would have gone so that we could have fixed this. So I would make sure I would not make other person feel that the person is wrong. I would always focus on what went wrong on the action and what best we can do. Instead of beating around the bush, okay, you could have done this and that. Let's see what best we can do, or tell me what we can do to fix this. So I would ensure that I maintain that. I want you to similarly think in your life, what are your core values? Take a moment and just put in 3 things which comes in your mind. Okay. Take a moment, maybe a few seconds, to think, what are your core values, which reflect who you are. When somebody take your name and say, or you ask your best friend, what do you think are my core values? He or she could define you. Those 3 words, anything, whatever comes to your mind first. Because if you start dwelling too much, it might not be the, immediate thought. Then you start putting rationales behind it. Okay, I lack discipline, so not consistent. Sridharji wrote earlier. Sridharji, what are your core values? You are in mute, I guess.
One is integrity,
Very good.
and then second one is making a difference to people.
Very nice.
That's what we call contribution. And then third one is my knowledge. I don't know whether it is core value or not. Knowledge is one of those.
Knowledge is acquiring knowledge is a behavior. Your ability or your enthusiasm to keep learning things, right? Right. So it's lifelong learning what you do. Now, just if I may, integrity is your core value, and integrity means what I say I do. You maintain it very, very well with everybody else in the world except you.
No, when I say integrity, it's not. Though it is not morality. It is something I don't go beyond my self belief.
Correct. See, if let's take an example. Let's say if I said that okay, the workshop is at 10, okay, and I show up at 10:10. Okay. And this is one incident. Let's say I told you that I would call you at 3 p.m. to discuss, and I would end up not calling. Third incident also happens. Do you see there's a gap between what I'm saying and what I'm doing? Do you call myself that I say that, okay, if I say that I did something and I would do it, I am being aligned to my words and my actions. So one part of integrity is this for me, right? If I say something, I would do it. So if Sridharji commits to his spiritual organization that Guruji, I'll come on this time and I'll do this service, you make sure you go there and you do that service. But when Sridharji tells to himself that, okay, let me work on this activity, which is your own commitment to yourself, but for some reason, because your time has gone to 10 other activities, this did not happen. So you kept commitment to everybody else except your own self. So that's what, imbibe that in your personal, to yourself also. You're great at doing it for everyone else.
Does that mean I am not a person of integrity?
No. It doesn't mean that. It's just that you have never thought with this angle what I'm saying. See, we always think that whatever we do to someone else, we make sure that we do it well. There is no law and regulation which says that if you don't do things which you are telling to yourself, it is not okay. Right? See, somebody says telling a lie is a bad thing. And when we are kids, our teachers, our parents, they make sure that they would make sure that they would punish us if in case we tell a lie and all that. And when we grow up, we know that there are law and order in place. If somebody lies and somebody steals, there are things. But if I say that, if I tell something to myself and I don't do it, nothing happens. But if I tell something to my organization, I don't do it, there are implications. Right? But when I tell something to myself and I don't, nothing happens. So there is no law and order in place and there is no awareness. No one told this or no one brought this awareness. We feel it is okay, but which is not okay.
What is the forward path?
So the forward path is one simple mantra. If I tell anything to myself, I would make sure I do it. So I would rather commit smaller things, which I would ensure I do it. Or else I would say I will try. I don't say that I do it and I don't do it. Because your brain picks up the cues, right? Your brain always looks for evidence. If you told that, okay, for 3 hours I will pay attention and not look at my phone, I would not look at it. But if 10 times I'm looking at it, and then next time also if I tell to somebody, yes, I will be completely paying attention and I don't look at my phone, then your brain thinks that, okay, earlier, whatever I said, I did. Now, whatever I said, I didn't do. So it is okay. There's no harm. Right? So there are certain questions which each one of you can do later also. What are your core values? How are they reflected in your daily life? Imagine if you could impact the world without any hindrance. Imagine you could do anything in the world to make this world a better place. What would you do? How would you create an impact in this world? And what kind of impact would it be? See, these are very, I call them soul stirring questions, because this is not something which you can answer in just, one word. You need to think what is very close to your heart. What are your core values? We always think that with our existing capacity, how can I impact the world? But mind you, I said without any hindrance. Imagine if there is no hindrance and you can reach out to as many people as you can. You can reach out to the whole 8 billion or 9 billion people who are on the planet. What kind of impact do you want to create? This question opens up the possibility. How do I want to project myself in the world? What all kind of action I want to take so that I can impact people's life? So this question is beyond you and yourself, right? And when you answer these questions, it changes the whole dynamic.
Actually, here I just want to understand the first part of it. Imagine if you
Yes.
could impact the world without any hindrance. Does that mean the environment is supporting you, or you are not stoppable with any kind of environment?
Both the ways. Yeah, universe is in support with you. Universe has your back, and you are also unstoppable. You know exactly what I want to do in the world. Universe has my back, and I just go ahead and do it.
But in reality, it's not true.
See, that's what in reality it is not true, because you're looking at with your own capacity right now. So I'll give you the example. For example, if I say I need to complete a marathon, which is a 42 kilometers some change, I know I don't even walk for a kilometer. How would I complete a 42 kilometers, race? It is impossible. And I'll say, in reality, it is not true. Agreed. But if I say, I will be proud of myself if I could complete one marathon in my life. Let's say if I say that, okay, I find a good, trainer who can help me do that. I find a community who is the community of people who has done it or who are practicing it. I find a friend or an accountability partner who can help me do it. He or she is already doing it. If I get, first thing I need to set the intention, I want to do this. Second thing is, if universe has my back, I will have the best trainer. I will have the best community. I have the best partner. Then I also have the willingness to do it. And slowly I start putting in my effort. I set my SMART goals, and someday I'll make it happen. But at this point, it obviously seems impossible. Right? So this question is to open up the possibility of what I want from my life, which is beyond my current capacity. Because then I would build myself to, or I would say I would raise my vibrations, build myself up to that level so that I can achieve whatever it is. Got it? Ishi or Amiji, any one of you want to contribute anything? Okay, I think they're still somewhere where they cannot respond right away. All right. Then what would you want to accomplish at the end of your life? This is another question which is soul stirring, which I feel and I ask that my participant to do. When I say at the end of life, it was like, imagine that you have lived your life, you are maybe 80, 85 years or 90 years old. And or fast forward yourself. Today, whatever age you are, fast forward yourself that and imagine that you are at the age of 85 now. And you're looking back your life. What do you think you want to tell to yourself that, oh, I'm so proud of myself that I have accomplished these many things. I have been a proud father. I have been, a great employer. I have been somebody who inspired people. I have been uplifting people's lives. I had done so much community services that people, know me for my gesture and my gratitude. Or I have done this because I am proud of it. Because I did this, I am proud of myself. I have, climbed Mount Everest, or I have done this, or I have done that. What is that list of accomplishment you want to have? It might be in terms of qualities which you want to ingrain, or it might be in terms of things you want to be known for. People say that whenever they look at, me, they say that he or she is the, embodiment of integrity, honesty, and excellence and all that. And if I look at those lists, I tell to myself, am I doing those things which are aligned with this? Maybe the answer is yes, keep doing it. If the answer is no, I am none of them right now, then you start, putting a plan. What should I do to make myself, achieving those things or walking towards it? Right? And what all this for? It is because, see, whenever we say about distractions or productivity, I know these are a little bit different. You say that you wonder, okay, we were talking about productivity and how come we ended up this? These are soul stirring questions. Reason is, when we don't have a larger goal or a bigger goal which can pull us in one direction, we just go in multiple directions. Okay, so if you answered previous questions, you would know exactly what you want from life. And then you ask yourself, what are my current goals and aspirations? Are they aligning with what I want to do, become at the age of 80? There will be a gap, right? And you need to see whether they are aligned or not aligned. If aligned, great, we have to create the path. If they are not aligned, then we have to start thinking, okay, how do I need to change? Maybe the current goals are not aligned with my values. That is why I'm deviating. That could be one reason, right? Or if they are aligned, then maybe what I want to achieve, there is no proper plan. Let me put the plan in place and then it would help me achieve. What kind of emotional, physical, and spiritual state you want to be in? This is one question again we have to ask ourselves. If emotionally you are always happy, you are excited, you are happy and grateful to the Almighty and Divine for being a human, being born as a human. Are you in that spirit, or are you somebody like, okay, why am I even living? Or why everything happens to me? What emotional state are you in? What physical state are you in? People say that when your body is in pain, it is just the sign of your body telling that there is, something which it wants to tell you or show you. What spiritual state are you in? Are you in a spiritually awakened state, heightened state, or are you spiritually grounded? Or are you aligned with some of your, some ways or the other? Are you aligned or at least connected with that superpower or divine or almighty, whomsoever you call it? Are you even asking those questions to yourself? If you have never asked those questions, it is a good time to ask. And if you have asked those questions, I'm sure if you are already doing some of your spiritual practices, you would know how good it feels when you connect yourself with the, with Almighty and Divine. So if you know all those, answers, then you start putting every action and activity which you take. Are they making me happier? Are they bringing the kind of change which I want to, bring in my life? Like for spiritual state, what happens with most of us? We get enlightened, we get invoked with some of the other spiritual practices, and then our masters ask that you have to do this practice every day. Are we even able to do it every day? And I know that when I do this practice, I feel good. Then why am I not doing it? That could be one reason, right? You can ask yourself. So ask those questions and then start aligning your goals towards it. Now, your ability to get out of your own way and do what you know you need to do is the essence of everything. Who is there between you and your goals? It's only you who has to come out of the way so that your soul can go in that direction. And you are the one who should be knowing what you need to do. And that is why we have to answer all those questions to see what all is missing and then make a plan. Okay. So this is what it is. In game of life, it is often far harder to see the root cause of our behavior. We want to do multiple things. We know that it is good for our health, good for our body, good for our, spiritual awakening, but still we end up not doing it. And that reflects in the regular behavior which we follow. So let me get into the science behind it, I would rather say. There is proximate causes versus root causes. As in, immediately you might feel, okay, this is the reason, but the root cause might be something else, right? Proximate causes is, let's say I sit for work and somebody came at the door. I opened the door, there was parcel, I have taken it. And right beside that TV remote was there. I thought, okay, let me watch a little bit of news. And you sat down there and you were watching. And then you come back after 20 minutes, you realize, okay, it's already half an hour gone and I had to do that work. Now the distraction, you can say, okay, that remote was right in front of me and there was one important news which I had to check out. That could be the reason. But the root cause might be, you might not be interested to finish that task which you were doing. Right? So we say that the distractions are TV and social media and junk food and whatever it is. But is that the real reason? No, maybe not. So what is that real reason that we need to look at? And the real reason is we are not motivated enough to do things, right? So the question which we need to ask is, what motivates us? And what is motivation? All motivation is a desire to escape your discomfort. For example, if I want to be an entrepreneur, maybe today in my current job, I'm so unhappy. I just want to get out of this comfort. The unease what I have, the stress what I have, that's the discomfort I need to escape. That's why I want to be an entrepreneur, because I want to be my own boss. So every motivation in life is nothing but your desire to escape that discomfort. Okay. And another psychological fact is, if any particular behavior which you have done previously provided you relief, you are more likely to continue that behavior because it is helping you escape discomfort. For example, this thought of making a to-do list, you feel so motivated that yes, I made my to-do list. There are 10 things which I need to do. This planning is something which is very exciting, because when you're planning things which is very exciting, you forget the discomfort which your current situation is causing. It is fun. But now the discomfort is, I need to get into the real action, and maybe you don't want to do it, right? So next time when you plan, okay, things are not happening, let me do something, your brain remembers, planning, putting things on paper, writing the to-do list was fun because it helped me escape from the current discomfort or current anxiety. You end up doing the same behavior, right? Now, the drive to relieve discomfort is the root cause for all our behavior, be it not able to do time, because when you're involved in 10 activities, as Sridharji was saying, right? He is part of 3-4 groups, and he makes sure that he has a calendar or reminder for the attendance and everything. His brain likes it, right? And it ends up repeating over and over. Now, if now is the moment where he feels, okay, I'm attending everything, but nothing is happening. Now he's getting into the root cause. Like, how do I make sure that I change this? Okay. So now he has to change his behavior. Before that, it is important for each one of you to be aware of few facts and ask yourself, am I victim of any of these psychological behavior? When I say psychological behavior, that doesn't mean that you have something clinically wrong. It is just that, fundamental psychological principles for which humans are, humans are driven off or driven by. So 3 characteristics that make us distractible is, we are present biased, or we are marginal thinker, or we are the creature of habits. I believe creature of habits is something which each one of us know. We know that we end up doing the same thing over and over and over, and then your brain says, okay, I know how to do it, and it just end up doing it. Present bias is something which is very interesting. So let me tell you what is it. Your tendency to choose smaller and immediate reward versus the benefit that takes longer to occur. Okay. So for example, you are doing something and you find it, boring, or you find it too difficult to do. Immediately, the first action is you pick up your phone, open your social media apps, and start wondering, okay, you are watching one reel and you find it, okay, it is not working. Then you start watching something else and you keep doing it. So this is immediate reward, which is giving you relaxation because your brain is not involved in, in that activity wherein you have to put in effort to make something happen. It's just happening. It's like a trance state. So this is the immediate reward. But in reality, if you do not use your phone and keep it aside and continue working on that presentation or the skill set which you are building, eventually you will be very proud of yourself that you have put in that many hours of effort and you have learned that thing, right? So we are victim of present bias in this case. We chose the smaller immediate reward, which is our phone, and watch something on internet wherein we are not involved intellectually, but still it is pleasing, right? So most of us do this. The sooner the reward arrives, the more weight it carries. So for example, let's say if something new has come in the market, which says that if you buy this pill and if you drink it for just 7 days a week, you will, lose these many kgs. And you're like, 7 days, that's too small. And 7 days is amazing. Even though it costs you more than what you spent on your gym, you end up buying it because the certainty of the reward is it says in 7 days, it will show the result. Rather than your gym instructor says, you come to the gym, every week for next 90 days, and you can see for sure that you are going to lose these many kgs. First of all, that is a lot of effort. Second thing is your brain perceive it as a long-term benefit, which would come after 90 days, how much effort is involved. So you tend not to choose that, rather to spend your money and your time on something which is immediate reward and probably which is certain, right? So your brain does that. And next time when you are getting into any situation, ask yourself, am I being the victim of present bias? If the answer is yes, then probably choose something which might be helpful for you in the long term or beneficial for you and end up putting your effort there. Right? When we set aside for a long-term goal, our tendency to live for the moment can sabotage our plans for the future. And be aware of it from the next time. And there was a research which was done wherein people were told that we'll give you $100 now, and if you wait for 1 week, I'll give you $120. Okay. People, imagine what people would have chosen. People chose $100 now rather than waiting for 1 week to get $120 because they felt 1 week is too long to wait. I would rather have $100 now because there's a certainty attached to it. There was another group of people who were told, we will give you $100 now, or sorry, we will give you $100 if you wait for 1 year, and we will give you $120 if you wait for 1 year, 1 week. And since it is so long term and people think that anyways, I have waited for 1 year, let me wait for 1 year, 1 week, so that I would rather, encash more. And most of the people chose 1 year, 1 week in order to get the $120. Now, the interesting fact here is in both the instances, the waiting period, additional waiting period is just 1 week, right? However, how we look at it with the present, something which is available as a reward right away, and to something which is long term. We prefer to choose something which is available right away, right now. And in long term, we don't mind waiting for a longer time, right? So this is what I want you to keep in mind next time when you are setting goal for yourself, which are future goals, and not self-sabotage yourself with the present bias, whatever comes along. Even though it sounds very tempting, it sounds exciting, it might help you get away the discomfort which you're feeling. Still stay put. Continuously be disciplined and consistent in putting in the effort, because in the long term, it is going to benefit you for your future plans. Any thoughts, Sridharji? Yes.
Basically, they say bird in hand is worth two in the bush.
Yes,
so
yes.
Maybe that is the mindset we have been conditioned since childhood, and even a businessman looks to anything like that only. And unless he is a visionary with to get more money, consistent money at a later date, like Dhirubhai put 12 ducts in the city. Only one duct is used, and that too all over the country. Only for 48 fibers are used. But it is that whatever work is done is by multiple generations will be taken care. So that kind of visionary we are not. So bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So the man looks for immediate gratification and will go for whatever is worthwhile for that this one. So how to combat that kind of a mindset?
That's very true. That is why, see, in terms of money, or in terms of how much money you put in stock, whether you get it right now or later, those are the things which we are very careful of. And that again, it depends on what kind of financial goals you have. What I'm telling you is, if you are aware of this fact, for your day-to-day life also, it is a lot easier to, not fall into the prey of that. Right? For like somebody says, you do this for 21 days and you get this. We end up doing it instead of somebody says, put in this effort for 18 months and you get something. I'm like, oh my God, who will put in the effort to get that reward? Right? But you have to ask yourself. That's why whatever you are doing, what your goals and aspirations are, if they're aligned with your value, you will end up doing the long-term thing. So that's why it is connected. That's the reason I put in so much time and effort to talk on those questions, because then everything is driven for a larger goal and not just by yourself. Right? And the interesting thing is, there's something called marginal thinker, again, a psychological principle. Here, it's about or this will bring you the awareness of why we keep switching from one set of information to another, to another, to another. So in animals also it has been found as a behavior, and we are also social animals, so it is there in the humans also. Animals would switch from one food patch to another, not when the food in that one resource patch is over, when it is not interesting enough for them to find it anymore. They just move to the another lush of patches. Human also follow the same pattern. Humans switch between distractions, from one distraction to another, constantly looking for that new information as a reward. Right? You might have observed to yourself. Imagine next time when you are watching TV and it is something very exciting going on, you are glued to the TV and watch like literally everything. And let's say if you are watching something and you find it, okay, now I can predict that what would happen in this scene and all that. In that time, in that moment, even though you decided to sit and watch TV or that series, whatever you're doing, you will pick up your phone and there is one email open. Then you will say, okay, let me see what is happening on social media. And this TV is also running. You might be talking to someone else. Your brain is just constantly looking for that excitement, that information reward which would come on. Right? This is again because it's the tendency, that's what we have. Reason why I'm sharing this with you is, it is so easy these days with our media feeds and notifications. With a single click, you can get everything. And we are all more likely to switch back and forth, thinking when we are not very sure what is that one thing which we are looking for. What is that so interesting which I want? So I keep switching here and there and wondering. And if your goals are set, if your values are set, if your long-term goals are aligned and you have made things simpler, then it is a lot easier to stay on track, right? And not get into the distractions which are there in it. So it's there, but I know that I am focused and why I'm doing what I'm doing. It will help me stay consistent or on track. Okay.
Minu, Ishi here.
Yes.
Just a quick
Yes.
question is
Yes.
personal to me, but then I have faced this challenge very often. What
Mm-hmm.
happens with me is that I'm I feel I may not be fully aware how good I am or how bad I am, but I feel that I'm able to keep away from distractions with my strong willpower, looking
Mm-hmm.
for long term benefits. But then what happens in this journey is that I continue to walk on a path where I start feeling really frustrated about not enjoying smaller things or things that gives me happiness, and then walking on a very difficult path which and you know about me, I have sat through some of your coaching sessions, so you know what I'm talking about. But then it gives me a feeling that I actually have chosen a path unnecessary, troubling myself. Okay, fine, long term benefit would be there, but I'm not living in the moment. I have wasted all these years of my, teenage time. I was studying hard, then my midlife, I'm working hard. And it just continues while I compare it with others. When I look at others who are of similar age, my colleagues or my relatives, or they have been enjoying every moment and they are almost reaping the same benefits or maybe more than what I am. So I'm not really sure how it helps, or has it helped me. Internally, yeah, it is rewarding when I accomplish something, but that's about it. I think it's not something big that I have accomplished. So how do I keep myself motivated on this journey and enjoy this altogether?
Sure. So on that, Ichi, first of all, thank you for sharing your vulnerability here. I want you to answer those questions which were there in the beginning. See, if this is the life it has been, then whether you decide to change things, that okay, now is the time where I need to make sure that I never feel this feeling that I feel maybe I'm not enjoying it or something, right? You have to ask those questions again. What are my core values? Am I doing things which are reflecting in my day-to-day life? Is it aligned with my core values? Then again, what kind of impact I am holding in the world, or what I want to do it in the world? And at the end of my life, how do I tell to myself that I lived the life which I wanted? If you have these questions answered, then they would become your reference list whenever you feel something like this. You take those things, read it out and say, okay, this is my core value. This is what I want to do in the world. That is why I'm doing this. Because success is not always about doing things which are fun. It might not be fun, but if you end up doing it over and over, maybe it is taking you on that way. And how to introduce fun and play, that is also there in the session later. wherein it's not fun to do those activities and you might feel there's no joy. Why am I even doing it? It is like you want to have a great body and your trainer says that you have to do bench presses, you have to do, this activity, that activity, or you have to do 3 sets of this exercise every day. You have to work on leg every second day. You have to work on your arms every second day. It is hurtful. It is definitely not fun. Right? But if you continuously, putting the effort and you know that in your mind, I want to look that good. I want to have that kind of physique. I want to have that kind of figure. While you were doing those practices, even though it was hurtful, once you achieve that, you feel that happiness when everybody, passing by would say, oh, you look so young, you look so good, your body looks so good, your skin has improved, right? That's the reward in mind. And why am I doing it? Because I want to have a very energetic and good body. So it is okay sometimes if things are not fun, it is fine. But you have to have some reference, why am I doing it? Did I answer your question?
Yes, Minu. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing. So another thing why we do things are because all of us knows we are creature of habits. And the fun part here is 40% of our daily behavior is driven by habit and we don't even realize. And it is so much driven by habit that your brain makes sure you don't put in cognitive effort of doing those activities so that you can free up your, cognitive ability to put in things which are important for you, right? It will offload your thought process of doing common activities so that you can do things which are, going to drive you towards your growth and development. So we should be taking advantage of that.